Okay, ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Our session is about to begin. Please have a nice seat. Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Elaborasi Special Series 6 entitled The Science, Technology, Innovation Policy in the Republic of Korea, How Indonesia Can Learn from Korea's Success. I am Azwar Aswin, your moderator for today. I also would like to greet Chairman of Research Organization for Governance, Economy, and Community Welfare, Dr. Agus Eko Nugroho, Head of Research Center for Public Policy, Dr. Yanwar Farida Wismayanti, our distinguished speakers, Professor Ki Sek Won and Mr. Anugrah Yuka Asmara, senior and junior researchers in Research Center for Public Policy, and all audience. Ladies and gentlemen, for your information, Elaborasi is a monthly discussion event organized by Research Center for Public Policy, and Elaborasi Special Series today is held in collaboration with Hanbat National University, Republic of Korea. Now, this is the high time for us to listen to the opening remarks from the Chairman of Research Organization for Governance, Economy, and Community Welfare, Dr. Agus Eko Nugroho. The stage is now all yours.
Thank you very much, Mas Aswin, the moderator for this today discussion. First of all, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Sehat untuk kita semua. We are delighted to have for today discussion the honorary speaker Professor Ki Seok Won dari Hanbat National University, South Korea, and also Mas Yuka from Research Center for Public Policy, and also the audience. It's a great pleasure for me to open this discussion, which is very important. First, that we can learn the country of South Korea that has rapidly improved the economic development, especially the manufacturing industry within the last 2 or 3 decades, which is, I'm very much sure that the contribution of research and innovations in South Korea are very vital to accelerate the economic growth of the country. So, which is, although I think it's not comparable between Indonesia and South Korea. If we look at the data, for example, that the government research expenditure in South Korea are much higher than Indonesia. I think for Indonesia at the moment are only comparable with the South Korea when it was in 1970s or 80s. So the government expenditure is much lower for Indonesia compared to the South Korea. However, that I think probably we can learn that how to deal with the public policy, dealing with the research and innovation in South Korea to integrate the role of the private sector, industry, university, and also probably the research, public research institution, which is very important to learn from the country. Without further ado, I think thank you very much once again for Professor Ki Seok Won for your time and available for today's discussion. Also, Mr. Yuka and the audience. I think thank you very much and have a nice discussion and having a lesson learned from today public policy collaboration. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I give back to Mas Aswin. Thank you very much, Mas Aswin.
Thank you very much, sir. It was a delighting opening remarks from Dr. Agus Eko Nugroho. And as Mr. Chairman told us that science, technology, and innovation are essential to foster economic, social, and environmental development, the three pillars of sustainable development, and also to manufacturing industry, as told by Mr. Chairman. Okay, in today's discussion, we will get a closer look into STI policy in Korea. And ladies and gentlemen, first I'd like to read a brief introduction to our honorable speakers. First, Professor Ki Seok Kwon. He is a professor at the Department of Public Policy, Hanbat National University. He is a renowned expert on STI and has published several books and articles on the subject. He has also been an editor of various international journals related to STI. His research interests include scientific productivity, comparative studies on public research system, big data in science policy. And second, Mr. Anugrah Yuka Asmara. He is a senior researcher at the Research Center for Public Policy. Currently, he is also coordinator of research group STI Governance and Policy. Some of his specific research fields include science, technology, innovation policy, innovation in public sectors, and renewable energy policy. Before the presentation begins, let me tell you how this discussion will run. Firstly, the speakers will present the material for about 30 to 60 minutes. Following that, we will have a question and answer session for approximately 60 minutes. And finally, the session will be ended by a conclusion or closing statements from the speakers. You can write your questions in Q&A or chat box. If there is enough time, we will open the microphone so you could ask questions directly to our speakers. Please raise your hand and make sure your internet connection is good. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, now allow me to welcome Professor Ki Seok Kwon to present the material. Professor Ki Seok Kwon, the stage is now all yours. Please.
Okay, thank you for kind introduction. My name is Ki Seok Kwon. From Department of Public Policy and Hanbat National University in South Korea. And also I have visited a few times to BRIN, the Ministry of Science and Technology in Indonesia, and also I participated some project discussing the science and STI policy in Indonesia. And also I have visited University of Indonesia, and so yeah, I know a little bit about Indonesian system. But today I would like to talk about the Korean innovation system. So after my presentation, the senior researcher Yuka is going to more talk about the lessons from Korea to Indonesia. So I'd like to share my presentation. Is it properly shared to you? Oh yeah. Is it a full screen?
Not yet. It's still
Small?
small, but we can see it.
Okay, maybe maybe this is maybe this is better.
Yeah, this bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. some it's not working. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, it's better. So the title is the South Korean Science, Technology, and Innovation Policy. So I'd like to more talk about governmental policy measure, how to connect, how to vitalize the innovation in the Korean system. So before going to the Korean system, I'd like to talk about some basic concept of innovation. So as you know, the innovation needs two essential parts. One is technical change. Technical change means newness of the technology. And also that should be succeeded in the marketplace. So two essential parts of innovation is technical change, newness, and the success in the marketplace. So how can we success in the market based on the new or existing combination of technological knowledge? That is the question of innovation studies. So many theory has been developed, explain how can we get the innovation, technical innovation. So the first one is the technology push theory. This is developed in 1950s after the Second World War. The physicists is really strong in the area of research and development activities. So if you put money, the government put money in basic science and then naturally flow to engineering and manufacturing and marketing. So this is a kind of a justification of increasing the R&D spending. Then naturally it benefits the technological innovation in the system. So there needs to be some autonomy of scientific community apart from away from the government. But in the 1960s, in the field of management studies, they investigate what's the source of innovation in the market. So they investigated some products in the market like refrigerator and cars and many other equipment succeeded in the marketplace. They found that the source of innovation is not the knowledge of the laboratory, but they found that market needs is more important than the scientific knowledge. So this can be called as a market pull theory. Market is pulling innovation activities. So we need to, if we want to technological innovation in the system, we need to find the market needs. So innovation can be carried out in order to meet market demands. So, but the 70s and 80s, they found that the situation is more complex. So idea generation, like the left side and marketplace, they are complex. There is some complex process between two places. For example, someone got the idea from when he sales to marketplace, and the customer asked them, "Can I get this kind of improvement here?" And then he went back to the laboratory R&D division, and then they asked them, "Please make this kind of new equipment or new function." Then the R&D division is to carry out the research to make them. So you can find we found that there was a reversal process and not the unidirectional, so multi-directional process has been occurred in the technological innovation and market. So this called as a coupling innovation process. So based on this coupling innovation process, the international innovation system has been introduced. So many parts, many elements in the system are interconnected with each other. So in the core of the national innovation system forms companies located in the heart of national innovation system, and then government and universities and the other the banking system and education institutions. So many other things are interconnected. So we in the field of STI policy scholars, they see innovation as a system. So based on the national innovation system, many other innovation system has been produced, like sector innovation system, technological regime, and a regional system. So we started to see the innovation as a systemic problem. So this is the this is the end of the explanation of national innovation system. And 1975, 1975, Otobek Ebanasi published a book, Process of Innovation. As you see here, in the early stage, fluid condition stage, fluid stage, the product innovation is really high because the concept of a new product has not been specified. So many different types of product can be produced. Like, for example, the bicycle, when the period of the making of bicycle, many various type of bicycle has been produced. But as time goes, the bicycle can be standardized. So there is not so many product innovation in the field of bicycle industry. But later on, transition period and specific condition period, the process innovation has been increased because they want to make more stronger bicycle and cheaper bicycle. So the economic efficiency is really important. So many ways of reducing the cost and improving the function of the product has been introduced in this period. So after the specific condition period, the process innovation has decreased and also product innovation has decreased. And then this product is transferred to developing country from the developed country. So Lin Soo Kim made this kind of model explain the innovation process of the developing country. So as you see here, is timeline is x-axis. So timeline goes from the fluid stage and transition stage and specific stage. And then matured technology transferred to the developing country. And then they acquisition. They got the product. So maybe they could do some re-engineering or because the technology has been standardized, so they know what their technological goal. So they can assimilate the technology, and then they made improvement. But some country transfer technology from the transition period from the developed country, and then they acquire and assimilate an improvement. But a country like Taiwan or Korea, Hong Kong, in the period of 1980s, 1990s, they can generate a new technology from the fluid stage technological pools. So the time is flow from the opposite side compared to developed country. So in the catch-up country, the technological cycle is start from the specific stage and transition stage and fluid stage. So this model has been introduced to by the Rensu Kim to explain the catch-up process of technological innovation system in developing country like Korea at that period. So based on this, some concept or some basic knowledge, I'd like to talk about the Korean system. Yeah, I can send the PPT to you, so no problem at all. So I'd like to talk about the historical development and then evolution of Korean innovation policy and recent program for the increasing the innovation in South Korea. So this is the same picture, the left side and the same place, the city hall in Seoul. So just after the war, just during the war, it's totally destroyed, not only the city hall, but the whole country of South Korea. So we have nothing. But it's been developed like other developed country, as you see here. So what was the secret? So someone called this miracle of Han River, but there is no real miracle. It's made by the policy and also effort of Korean people. So the secret is growth of heavy chemical industry and export orientation, and also human resources. That is the answer of this secret. So as you see here, the poverty is a really urgent policy problem in South Korea. So, and also the literacy rate was really low at the period of 1950s. So elementary school has been established by the government, and also outward-looking development strategies. So we focus on the export to get the money from the outside. So that is the way to escape from the poverty in South Korea. So as you see here, the university system has been expanded. So 1965 is less than 500,000, almost 200,000, but it's been increased in the 1980s because the liberalization policy has been implemented in the 1980. Because the dictator John Duhan, he has very weak political legitimacy, so he want to liberalize in many fields, many disciplines, many areas in South Korea, and also people get rich enough to send their children to university. So that's the background of the expansion of university system in the 1980s. And also after the late 1990s, the government let the university can establish their campus outside of capital area. Capital area is Seoul, Incheon, and Gyeonggi. The outside of capital area, if the condition is fulfilled, and then they freely establish their universities. So that's why we saw increase in the late 1980s. And as you see here, the green line is about the graduate school. Graduate school has been is increased, is expanded after late 90s. This shows that research function of universities has been started in the 1990s. I'm going to talk about this also later once again. And research activity, as I mentioned, the 1990s can be characterized by universities' research activity in South Korea. So the publication number has been increased. It's remarkably increased after 1990s, because some evaluation indicator is a number of papers. So many R&D group have to show their performance by the publication. So that's why here. And also industry also shows a publication like Samsung and LG. So this shows also the R&D activity of private firm. This going to also discuss in the later slide. And as you see here, the export activity, the manufacturing exports by the technological category in South Korea. So 1980, the labor-intensive manufacturing exports product is bigger than two times bigger than the 1994. But after in the year of 1994, the differentiated like advanced machinery, TV, power equipment is increased remarkably, and also science-based export has been increased more than 2 times. So this shows that in a very short time, the technological portfolio has been changed in South Korea within the 2 decades. So this is mapped by the USPTO patents. The patents registered in Korean patents registered in the USPTO. So as you see here, the technological advantage, technological strengthness in South Korea has been changed from the 1980s or 1990s to 1990s. So as you see, semiconductor, electronics, and machinery is really really strong in the later period. So this shows that the technological portfolio, technological strengthness in South Korea has been changed in a very short time. And this shows the technological cycle. As you saw, we can measure the technological life cycle, measuring the patents. So different from other countries, in mid-1980, the Korea and Taiwan entered the shorter cycle product, which means that the ICT area has have a more shorter life cycle than the other technology. So based on this strategy, they can increase the new technology in South Korea, newness of the technological strengthness. So this can be also explained by this picture. The technology diversification of South Korea and Taiwan has been increased from the mid-80s. So we have many various technological fields by entering the shorter technological life cycle area. So, and also knowledge localization. So between the firms and domestic industry, they have a very strong exchange of new knowledge. And also, this can be measured by the citation of patents in our country. So they get into the shorter cycle and help to increase localization. So they don't need to rely on the incumbent of the industry. So technological diversification has been strengthened by the this newly emerging areas like IT area. So this shows the rapid expansion of technological portfolio of South Korea. So you can get this kind of material of Kian Lee's homepage shows on the slide. And this picture is made by me, and also in the area of scientific activity, like publication. You can see the specialization. So specialization as a negative, as a trade-off relation with the diversification. So as you see here, 1980s, we are very specialized area, so the line is very sharp. But the later period, like violet line, is more round shape, which means that our technological specialization is lower than before, which means that diversification of knowledge production can be measured in this area. So as you go progress to the developed country in terms of scientific activity, more diverse research portfolio you can get. So based on this knowledge production, they can help the innovation in the system, I believe. Linsugim divided 3 stages when he explained the development of Korean national innovation system, like imitation stage, creative imitation, and innovation stage. So in this period, the 3 policies, industrial policy, science and technology policy, and higher education policy, there was a harmonization between different policies. So in 1960s and mid 1970s, we need skilled technical labor. So we built a lot of factories. So we need who can read the guideline of the process of the factory process. So illiteracy has been really important. So general education is really important for the higher education policy. And also we don't have no good R&D, research and development, R&D institution. So Ministry of Science and Technology has been built, and then they create KIST, Korea Institute of Science and Technology, which can be called as a governmental research institute. So we started to do R&D activity from the 1960s and 1970s. So they help some industry strategically chosen by the government in the field of heavy and chemical industry. So some steel industry and auto industry, car industry. So the public research institute, governmental research institute, start to help this industry directly. But in the creative imitation stage, the Samsung and LG, the private industry, start to have enough R&D, enough R&D capacity. So they don't need to get the governmental help, direct help. So they do their own R&D based on the market needs. So government research institute have to change their direction, R&D initiative, R&D goal, to make a more generic and more infrastructural technology of the Korean National Innovation System. So NRDP has been created, NRDP National R&D Program is initiated in 1982. So based on this program, we put a lot of money in the area of new generation of ICT, and also the nuclear fusion, not fission, fusion technology. So this is a start of the separation between the public R&D and private R&D. So in this period, qualified engineers has been important. So 1980s is, as I mentioned earlier slide, the expansion of university system. is related to this policy. So they want to make their qualified engineer based on the expansion of the university system. And also the government industrial policy is more focused on the readjustment of industrial structure. So as I show in the previous slide, the shorter life cycle technology like ICT has been important for private companies like Samsung and LG. So lastly, the third stage can be called the innovation stage. This is called by the Lens Kim. He said that the creative research, higher education policy, creative research, and their economic contribution has been important. So in the university, the TTO has been created. TTO is Technology Transfer Offices. So based on the research activity of university system and government research system, in 2000, the commercialization of public R&D has been important after 2000. So, and also the efficiency issues has been raised in the area of government research system. So reformation of structure of GRI has been started from this period. So we can understand the Korean innovation system by these three stages as a background of our lecture today. So this shows that the remarkable increase of Korean economies. In the 1960s, the GDP is only $2 billion US, but recently it's really increased, and also GDP per capita and export and import has been increased. And this table is more important. The first section shows that the public R&D expenditure, private R&D expenditure, the ratio. Before the 1980, the public research expenditure, R&D expenditure is bigger than the private. But after 1980s, it's a private company has more invest their money in the system compared to public R&D system. So in South Korea, the private company has bigger R&D expenditure in the system. And also researchers. So from the 1980s, the private company increased their R&D number of R&D researchers. So recently, they have more. They have 3 times or 5 times, 4 times larger than the governmental or university researchers. And also industry rep is remarkably increased by, if you see the R&D indicator of Korean system. So 1980 is an important year of the Korean R&D innovation system. So this is explain the NRDP, National R&D Program. So this is called Specific National R&D Programs. It's a 특정 연구 개발 사업 in Korean. It's translated in English and Specific National R&D Program. So many large-scale R&D project has been initiated based on this program, like a big science project, nuclear or the space program has been started from this program. And also expansion of national R&D program can be explained by this picture. So the earlier stage, there is only one department addressing the R&D activity in the system. But as time goes, the other Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Health and Welfare, Ministry of Information and Communication Technology, Ministry of Industry. So they develop their own program to pursue their policy goal in their policy area. So many department has started their own program. So nowadays, the coordination and integration is really difficult to because of this independent development of the R&D program of the ministries. And I'm going to move on to GRI. The GRI, Government Research Institute, KIST, has been created in 1966. So this is a model organization of Korean Research Institute. So like a government research institute in the field of biotechnology and mechanical engineering and standard technology is been created from the KIST. So in Daejeon, I am located in Daejeon, Daejeon area science park, and 27 government research institute located. So this government research institute has achieved lots of success, like DRAM and TDX and CDMA. K-STAR. K-STAR is a nuclear fusion vessel to generate electricity, but it's not completed yet. Maybe 50 years later, they can generate electricity. And also nuclear fusion reactor, another reactor has been created, KAERI, the Atomic Energy Institute, and also PET film has been developed by KIST. So at the initial stage, the Government Research Institute has been a really important collaborator. But after a period in the development stage and the product stage, this know-how, this knowledge has been transferred to private firm. That's the way of developing a new product in South Korea. Move on to university side. You can see the increase of number of patent applications. So as I mentioned earlier, 2000 can be characterized as a commercialization of public R&D. So many patents application has been observed from the 2000. And also the royalty and spin-off firm from the universities has been created from the 2000. And let's move on to private sector. So private sector, they invest lots of money in the area of R&D activities, and also you can see the increased number of R&D center. And also you can see the achievement led by the private sector: display technology, shipbuilding, DRAM, and mobile phone. So this system is facing a new emerging social agenda, and a new growth engine is really important, IT or BT, nanotech area, and also quality of life has been important. So not only the economic life, but also the quality of life is really important. And also in order to do this kind of, in order to address this issue, reformation in the education and cultural area is also has been important. And the Industry 4.0 is really important in South Korea. The big data and AI is really kind of a fashion when they apply their R&D project for the government. So, and also the government has really focused on this area to get the new growth engine of the Korean economy. So they want to renovate the governmental research institute. So R&D management, I think we have many agencies doing the R&D planning and managing the R&D project. So integration issue has been emerged from the recent period, and also performance indicator. Not only the number of patents and number of papers, but also we need quality of research is really important. So they want to change the indicator from quantity to quality. And also the government has a really power leadership in the field of R&D system, but nowadays their specialty, they don't know much about R&D compared to doctoral researcher in the GRI. So autonomy issue has been raised. So we want to increase the autonomy of the government research institute when they do R&D activities. Okay, let's move on to higher education system. So this is NURI, New University for Regional Innovation and Connect. So University TLO supporting project, and unique Hub University for Industrial Collaboration. So this project, this program has been given to the university in South Korea. So based on this program, they enhance their education to get more strong interaction with the private firms. So they invite some specialists from the industry, and they change their curriculum, and also they do some collaborative research for commercialization in the region. So that kind of activity has been remarkably encouraged by the this project to the universities in South Korea. And also LINK is a really famous program in South Korea. This is also helping the strong interaction between university and industry in South Korea. So lots of program, various policy measures has been done and by this program. So in terms of quantitative measure, the patent and technology transfer and royalty income and royalty return rate has been increased more than 10 times based on this program. So before move on to the conclusion, I'd like to summarize the previous slide. 1960s and 1970s can be characterized as the establishment of R&D institutions, GRI, like KIST. So they support the strategically chosen industry by the government in this period. 1980s, the private R&D is start to be bigger than the public R&D. So NLDP has been emerged in order to get the infrastructure of R&D, or I can say the basic technology of the innovation system, and also based on the increase of the household income, the university system has been expanded in 1980s. 1990s, the emergence of university R&D in South Korea. So university start to do R&D from the 1990s. And also late 1990s, we can see the second expansion of university system. So lots of universities has been created outside of capital area. 2000 can be characterized as a commercialization of public R&D, and so many technology transfer offices and also some commercialization activities has been encouraged by the governmental ministries. So recently, we are more focused on the quality issue rather than quantity issue. The excellent research and creative idea has been more important, and also coordination and integration. So as I mentioned earlier, the ministries, as there has been done their own R&D programs, so we need to coordinate. Sometimes there is a really overlapping between the Ministry of Science and Technology and Ministry of small-sized industry, small-sized industry, doing the startup. The encouraging startup program is all several ministries doing startup supporting startup companies. So, but there is no differentiation between those programs. So coordination is really important. So this can be recognized as a cause of inefficiency in the system. So coordination is really important in the recent period. So this is the summary, and this is the conclusion. So what's the successful key driver of Korean innovation systems? Political leadership of the government, role of government is really important. And they harmonized the different actors in the system. But nowadays, it's really difficult. The private company do not follow the government order. So coordination is really difficult. And also market-oriented technology development has been really important based on this strategy. We can get we can get money from outside and reinvest in the R&D system, and also we can develop again the new technology. And in doing this priority setting and strategic area we set up, and then we make a global champion based on the encouragement of the fund chosen. And also engineer and skilled workforce is really important, and also aggressive technology import and outsourcing of resources has been important. So after 1980s, the FDI has been increased. So the open innovation system has been a really good perspective in South Korea. So the most important thing is the human resources. So we invest heavily in education system and human resource development, and also the college enrollment rate is almost first in the world, I guess, but recently it's a little bit decreasing. So, and also graduate program has been improved. So finally, we want to establish a new national innovation system. We need to more focus on the fundamental technology to encouraging the new industry, new technology of the Korean economy, and also in order to do coordination and integration effectively, the decentralized system. So in the region, they just get the program from created by the central government. So they regional government really want to set up their own R&D program fit into the regional environment. So decentralization and also quality of life is really important. So we from the 10 years ago, we developed a R&D program solving social problem like fine dust or some environmental problem. So not only in the field of science and technology, we want to address other social problem based on R&D activities. So this is the end of my presentation. So senior researcher Yuka is going to more talk about the recent lessons from the Korea to Indonesia. One of the things I observed is the establishment of BRIN is a really impressive thing in the field of science and technology innovation policy. So BRIN has, I think, has a really strong coordination power. So one of the lessons from Korea is a coordination problem, so that could be addressed by the BRIN. But the other thing is can be addressed more in detail by Yuka, researcher Yuka. Okay, thank you for listening.
Thank you, Professor Ki Seok-won, for your insightful presentation. To summarize the main point from your presentation, you have explained to us how STI works, or specifically innovation works in Korea, and what are the key concepts and key drivers and principles behind it. I note from your presentation the number of research activities and patents increased dramatically from 1990s to present time. So and I note that one of the difference is the industry role in research and development is dominant in South Korea. So we will take a closer look in Indonesia by discuss it with Mr. Anugrah Yuka Asmara. So Mr. Anugrah Yuka Asmara, the stage is now all yours. Please.
Okay, thank you, Mas Aswar. Can you hear me, Mas Aswar?
Yes, clearly.
Okay, Kamsahamnida, Refcon, for your presenting. Wait, I will try to. Okay, good noon, everybody. I'm Nicola Yuka Asmara, or you can call me Yuka. I'm from Research Center for Public Policy, especially in the STI policy. I'm partner of Refcon during 3 years, since 2020 up to 2022, and now we are in collaboration with another project. We will discuss about STI policy development in Indonesia and how Indonesia can learn from the Korean success. It is very important because, we have the similarity between Indonesia and the Korea, especially South of Korea. And then we have like the same goal, including how to improve, how to increase the economic development based on the knowledge or the scientific and technology. I have 7 parts of the presentation. The first about definition of public policy and STI policy, and the second the function of STI policy. The third how Indonesia can learn from the Korea success, and then the miracle of Korea. The fifth STI policy comparison South Korea and Indonesia, and the sixth key elements from Korea to Indonesia, and the last the BRIN's organization structure. I will start from the definition of public policy. It is very common from all of you because public policy is one of means to achieve public goals. Policy is a way, direction, and governmental efforts aim to achieve public goals and interests. It is very popular definition, and if we refer to the Anderson, policy is relatively stable, purposive course of action or inaction, followed by an actor or a set of actors in dealing with a problem or a matter or concern. In sum, policy is an authoritative, administrative, and political process undertaken by public agencies to combat public issues. It can be art or it can be craft. So we have two distinct definition of the public policy. Public policy is as art and is as craft. Then we move to the definition of STI policy or Science Technology Innovation Policy. The first, we can define science policy. Science policy is aimed to develop basic science resulted by universities or ID institution like scientific publication, journals, proceedings. It is one of the output of the science policy, and the government needs to develop the technology policy. Technology policy is aim to develop applied knowledge and technology resulted by universities and R&D institutions. So if we have the prototype, we have the engineering, we have increasing products, it is one of the technology policy. So government should be a promoter to make increasing. And the last, how is the STI or innovation policy? Science, technology, innovation, or innovation policy is not standing alone because this policy involves multiple actors with many interests, but all of the actors can compromise, can collaborate to make innovation. Innovation policy is not only how to push science, how to push technology, but how to make a realization from the science, from the technology, from the R&D to be products in the market, to be economic values, and many more. That is why innovation policy is equal with the science policy plus technology policy plus business or economic policy. Without added value of economic or social, it is not innovation policy. That is why role of the government is very critical to promote all of the actors to increase, to develop the innovation in area or in the country. Why innovation policy is important for the government, including in maybe not only in Korea but in Indonesia. The function of STI policy is to intervene, like if we meet or we face the problems, the issue from the R&D to the market. So the role of government is present. It is common if we have R&D results, we do R&D activities. It is not easy to make all of R&D activities, R&D products to be marketable products. It is a complicated issue. There is the problem, we call it the problem with the valley of deaths. In this case, role of government is critical to reduce the failure or to make like the subsidize or make like the booster from the development of R&D to be marketable products. It is the good example from Korea, how government of Korea can play a role to minimize the risk of the valley of death and make the profit of the R&D products to be market. Actually, there are 5 reasons why role of government is present in STI policy. The first, economic reason, because most of R&D activities and products are costly and unaffordable for people. So government must be triggered to make the affordable economic. in the already projects. And system reasons, locked information system in country, asymmetric information are the classic issues, including in the STI ecosystem. Political reason, political support, and pro cons to implement already innovation. It is very, very key for the each of the country to support innovation ecosystem. And the sectoral reasons, relative issue of government sectoral or silo coordination among government agencies. Government can play a role to be an intermediary, to integrate, to make a collaboration with multiple actors, to create the common goals of STI policy. And the last, cultural and communication reason. Acceptance of new things in the social environment is one of the points how local people can accept new things. Based on the Rogers 1994, Rogers said that one of the critical issue to transfer innovation is not only from government, but how the local community, local population can adopt, can adjust the new things from the outside. So the question is how Indonesia can learn from the Korea success. I think Indonesia and Korea, we are on the same page. We have the similarity between Indonesia and Korea, even though it is very complicated, but previous history, we have same piece with the political regime, culture, and then region. The first, Indonesia and South Korea are in the Asia continent. Korea is located in the East Asia region, and Indonesia is located in the Southeast Asia region. This is one of the continents. So there are many similarities. There are many same activities that we can conduct together, Korea and Indonesia. And the second, Korea and Indonesia is the same independence year. Occupation from Japan up to 1945 in Korea, and Korea was finally liberated from occupation in the August 1945, and then officially Korea get the Independence Day in 1948. Like Indonesia occupation from Japan up to 1945. 17 August 1945, Indonesia promulgated the Independence Day and continued to struggle military aggression of the Dutch colonial up to 1948. It is the starting point of the colonialization and the Independence Day between Korea and Indonesia. And the third, population entities of Korea and Indonesia, you can see in the pictures during 1960, 1970, Seoul City and Jakarta City, it is not too different, right? Korea and Indonesia in 1960 and 1970, both countries were in the poverty, not advanced country. They live in the slum area, and it is they use local transportation like tricycle or becak Indonesia and horse Indonesia. It is very similar context, 1960 and 1970 between Korea and Indonesia. And then we have victory. South Korea and Indonesia had been overlaid by the authoritarian regime in 1960. After independence 1945, Korea faced the emergence of social conflict and political riot. And then Army General of Military as the president, General Park Chung-hee, 1961 up to 1979. And then Korea has two distinct and limited political parties, namely Party of Democracy Republic and Party of New Democracy. And then economy development planning for 5 years started in 1962. And in the end, to be popular topics from the local. And Korea has two Korea as president. And after Park Chung-hee substituted by the original Chun Do-hwan up to 1988, the democracy in East Korea it is this point. We can look Indonesia after independence 1945. We have also case with Korea of conflict of politics, social and political right, and many more. Pak Harto or Army General Suharto took over the president starting from 1965 up to 1997, about 32 years, and we have experience with the three limited political parties: Golkar, the one, PDIP or Indonesia Demokrasi, and P3, Partai Persatuan Pembangunan or Party of Development United. And we also started the economic planning for 5 years through policy of Replita. Replita is the economic development planning starting in the Suharto regime, 1965. And then after Reformation era in 1998, or when General Suharto was collapsed, public of Indonesia asked the democracy demand for future government. It is the same historical. How is about the government system? South Korea and Indonesia, we have similar government system: Republic of Korea and Republic of Indonesia. Korea led by the president and the prime minister. Indonesia led by the president and the coordinating ministries. We have three functions of government: executive, legislative, and judicative. It is the same. There is the public election for 5 years, president and legislative, same with Indonesia. Government authority is divided into central and local government level. So does Indonesia. We have central and local. South Korea divide the local government with province, city, and district, and we have province, city, and district for agency. There is a metropolitan government in the Korea, like Indonesia. We have Jakarta metropolitan government. So it is not too far if we compare between government system in Korea and Indonesia. Culture, Indonesia and Korea, we have same culture: dancing, the transportation, food, even the fighting style. In Korea has the taekwondo, Indonesia has the pencak silat. Korea has the odeng for the one of the foods, and Indonesia has the tempura, one of the food. We have the same culture. But the question is the miracle of the Korea. Miracle is it a gift or the result of hard work of the Korean people? Indonesia and South Korea are in the one last decade. It is you can see in the slides there are pictures. It is not same compared to 1960, 1970, and maybe 1 decade about Korea and Indonesia. There is the significant comparison about Seoul and Jakarta after 1990s and 2000s up to now actually. Prox Kron said about the STI policy evolution in South Korea. In 1960 of the development of STI process from the policy for industry, policy for SNT, and policy for higher education. Each of policy has important role to promote the STI. That I said before, STI policy is not standing alone of the policy, but STI policy composed from the related policies like the industrial policy, education policy, transportation policy, and many more. How with the STI policy evolution in Indonesia from 1945 up to present? If we refer to the STI policy development from the Korea, there are 5 periods. The first 1945 up to 1965, establishment of the first STI policy and agencies. And the second, enforcing and expanding SNT agencies and already based industry, 1970 up to 1990s. And then reformulating the national SNT laws and agencies, late 1998 up to 2004 and reinforcing the existing STI laws and agencies 2005 and 2018, and the last transforming SMT agencies and laws 2019 up to now. SMT policy, higher education policy, industrial policy, each of states. Maybe you can read by yourself. I cannot. I don't explain in detail because in the macro description, in starting from the 1945 up to 2019, Indonesia focused on the establishment, reinforcing, reformulating, and even transforming. We don't have the sustainable STI policy from year by year, from regime by regime. Each regime will change the regulation, the law, the document. So the so maybe for 45 focus on the how to make STI policy document, not how to implement STI policy. It is the one of the in the Indonesia practice. And Indonesia in STI policy, we have the first anti law in the 2002, and then it was changed by the law of number 11 2019 about the national STI policy. And in industrial policy, we have the I say the big policy force. Even though we have many policy for scholarship in the higher education policy from the 1945 up to 2019, actually we have issue how to make convenient from the diaspora, as that who study abroad and government want to protect them to work in Indonesia. This issue up to now. Even though we have many scholarship from the Soekarno, Suharto, LPDP now, and many schemes. The actual fact, the Asian dragon and Asian tiger, I'm sure you ever heard of two terms. Now the 4 ASEAN tiger are the Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, and Taiwan. If we wanted to see the historical of the industry in the Asia, the ASEAN tiger are the Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, and Vietnam. Since 1965 up to 1990, and the ASEAN tiger is the same countries: Hong Kong, Singapore, South Korea, and Taiwan. What is the Indonesia position now? Innovative economy of Korea. It is consistent policy from Korea more than 2 decades, 2017, 2019, 2021. Korea is the top position around the world of the innovative economy of Korea. So is the Indonesia. Indonesia is not amazing ranking because there is no significant progress of innovative economy in Indonesia. Indonesia is only small part of the innovative economy. Even in the Southeast Asian nation, Indonesia under Brunei, Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore. Indonesia is higher level only from Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar. It is not good if we see the similarity of Korea and Indonesia. C96 six among 48 high income group economies, and the first ranking from the 17 economies, the Southeast Asia, and Oceania. Indonesia ranked 9 among the 36 lower middle income group economies. It is different groups of economies. And Indonesia ranked 13 among the 17 economies in Southeast Asia, East Asia, and Oceania. In Korea, innovation and development is very influenced by the leadership. You can see the blue round sign in the left for Korea. You can see the yellow round sign in the middle, in the right side of Indonesia. It is very high differentiation between Indonesia and Korea about innovation and development. 7 pillars is very prominent rather than Indonesia. And if we see the human resource of the GII in Korea, Indonesia market sophistication is number 36. I think it is not good comparison if we compare in Korea and Indonesia in recent time. How is the innovation output performance? Republic of Korea with the high income and Indonesia with the lower middle income. 2 countries started independence in 1945, started with the poverty in 1960, but in one last decade, Korea is to be giant economic in the world, but Indonesia is still lagging behind. It is the element of Global Innovation Index. You can learn from the WIPO 2022 between Korea and Indonesia. And Korea is identified with the global corporate and R&D investors like the Samsung, LG Electronics, and SQ. SQ is the South Korea Telecom, like the Telkom Indonesia. And there is no anything about the corporation identified in Indonesia. US university ranking, Korea has 3 the best universities from the Seoul National University or SNU, KAIS, Korea Institute of Science and Technology, and Korea University. And if we see the profile of Prof. Kwon has graduated from the SNU and KAIS, so he has the best graduation from the Korea. And Indonesia, the US ranking like UGM, Gajah Mada, Institute of Indonesia, and Bandung Institute of Technology. This is the 3 top university in Indonesia based on the US university ranking. But if we compare to the Korea, the score and the rank is very far. In Indonesia, the rank more than 200, but in Korea the rank under 100. It is the university contribute to the innovation in Korea. How Indonesia can adopt the innovation practice from the Korea to Indonesia, from the old order era, new order era, reformation era, the first post-reformation era, and the second post-reformation era. I try to make 10 points about the 10 key elements to adopt the Korean STI policy practice. The first, investing and improving qualified human resources. It is because human resources is the permanent capital that will contribute to the economic development of nation. And then support of R&D budget, private and government. R&D budget is the key to push innovation activities generated from the innovation activities. The crowded funding from the private and government should be conducted to produce the use funding allocation. So R&D funding is not from government, but it's not only from private, but both private and the government. Reinforcing and reforming public government system. Up to now, we meet the red tape and bureaucratic issue, including corruption, misadministration, and maybe many more than I mentioned in this slide. We need the agile and robust government system to reduce the problem in the government. And the fourth, connecting industry, universities, already agencies, government community. Silo or miss coordination among actors of academician, business, government, and communities should be solved to promote, to bolster the STI network at national and local level. STI policy is not a standing alone policy, rather it needs multiple actors to work together. And we also needs the political support. Regime is one of the determinant factors to make successful STI policy. Stable and supporting political system lead to achievement of STI policy goals in a nation. Collaboration with the partner in the global is very, very critical, because academician, engineering, business communities can create more creative, innovative ideas and products if they cooperate with the partners from the overseas. Increasing literacy of citizens. Literacy is the main element at the grassroots level. Public communities or people must be well educated and communicated to approve the new things. Even they can propose new or ideas to market. Policy for 2 decades is a requisite to make a continuous improvement of policy. The government's commitment is present to make continuous policy in Indonesia. Innovation culture, innovation culture is think creatively, innovatively, open to work change, important to work hard in the urgency of needs. Innovation must be primary needs, not secondary or tertiary needs. Making a priority for innovation is a vice minister. I think it is enough, Mas moderator. But it is only the brief order regime, the new order regime. We have many changes, and then reformation area we have thing, and up to now we have a BRIN or National Research and Innovation Agency of Indonesia, based on the regulation President number 78 2021, refers to the National Act number 11 2019. We have the new structure in Indonesia, in BRIN. The website is the deputy from the policy and administrative affairs, and the second is research center to produce R&D or S&T products. All of public R&D institutions are integrated in one organization, namely BRIN. We have vision and mission, BRIN, objective and goals, and it is the interesting information. BRIN has 3 functions. The first, policy recommendation; the second, executing agency; and the third, funding agency. All of the R&D and innovation affairs is the responsibility of the BRIN. BRIN with 3 directions and 7 targets. From science technology to be innovation. From the basic research, from the applied research. From the raw material, to be the marketable or business product. Okay, I think it's enough. Thank you, Kamsanida.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yuka, for giving such an informative and comprehensive, specifically about Indonesia's story. So if we look together to Mr. Yuka's presentation, we can see that Korea and Indonesia have similar starting point, but different fate. I hope we have in the future, we have similar finish as economic giant in the world. Okay, thank you for your attention and participation. To all audience, now we have some time for questions and comments from the audience. Oh yeah. Please raise your hand if you have a question and wait for the microphone to reach you. Please also state your name and affiliation before asking your question. Okay, Mr. Angga, please.
Okay, thank you very much for the Mr. Moderator. Can you hear me?
Yes, I
Yes,
can
I
hear you.
can.
Yes, thank you for the presentation from both speaker. My name is Angga Radian. I am the public policy analyst from the Secretary General of Indonesian Senator or DPD-RI. I have a question for Dr. Kwan. I agree with you with the your conclusion. Put the first political leadership and role of the government as the main key for success. I believe that we have a different political leadership. So, in my opinion, what do you think about the Indonesian leadership today and for the future? I mean, we're gonna have the election, and what do you think about the vision of the Indonesian political leader to develop the nation, especially for the innovation? And number two, I think the speaker didn't mention this. The differences between the Indonesia and Korea in South Korea is that the South Korea has the threat from the north. I mean, you have a potential war escalation from Korean Peninsula. So how do you survive from that for the people in South Korea to develop the nation? The treatment from the north. I think we want to take some lesson from that. And for the last question for Mr. Anugrah Yuka and so Dr. Kwan, I agree with the diaspora. Where you said that we need to manage the diaspora. So, Mr. Anugrah Yuka, what do you think about the government should do in Indonesia diaspora? We know that we have a lot of diaspora, a great diaspora spread in other countries, but I don't think that a government has already managed them well. And for Dr. Kwan, what do you can give us the lesson learned from Korean diaspora? Thank you very much, sir. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Angga Radian from DPD-RI. So, is there any questions from the audience?
Maybe we can address the question by question, so I cannot remember all of the.
Oh, all right. All right. So please wait, Mr. Deden, so we can answer one by one. Okay.
Yeah,
Please.
yeah.
Please,
Okay.
Professor.
Regarding the first question, the possibility of the political leader in Indonesia. So how can you promote the innovation system? Actually, I don't know the detail of the political system in Indonesia, but I heard that the R&D plan, long-range plan, has been established, and the plan is really good. So I hope any political leadership have to continue the agreed the long-range plan for economic development in Indonesia. So that should be a key point, I guess. So maybe a different political leadership to delete the long-range plan, but that in the case that is could be a disaster, I guess. So I hope the plan you created should be keep going, I guess. Secondly, the North Korean threat. Yes, there has been a Korea discount because of the threat from the North Korea, but as you feel outside of Korea, but inside of Korea, we are not so threatened by the North Korea because the former government has really wanted to set a peaceful atmosphere between the two Koreas, and also the North Korea has really want to survive in this situation. So the war or other crisis is we Korean people think the probability is not so high. So in everyday life, we almost forgot the North Korean crisis. So as you see in my presentation, there is not much about concern of North Korean crisis, and also the defense technology has been really developed. We put a lot of money in defense technology sector. So except I don't know, it's a bit sensitive issue. Except the nuclear bomb, the other defense area, the South Korea is far more stronger, I guess. So I don't think there is a North Korean crisis that could be solved by the political leadership, I guess. The third one is diaspora. Yes, diaspora has been really important at the initial stage of Korean R&D system. When we built up the KIST, KIST, Korea Institute of Science and Technology, we invite the really scientists from the United States. So we gave them a salary twice higher than the professors in Seoul National University, and also we support them really sincerely, and also they have a strong autonomy when they do their own R&D project. Diaspora is a really important network, global network, to circulate the knowledge benefiting the national innovation system, I guess. Thank you.
Thanks, Prof. Pon. Please, Mr. Yuka, how about Indonesian diaspora?
Thank you, Opa Aswar. The question is like my questions to my friends when he was student, PhD student and master student in the abroad countries. I had two questions in that time. The first, what will you do after you graduate from your campus in the abroad? And the second, are you sure to come back to Indonesia with the Indonesian current condition? And the first answer, he want to optimize his aids to work in many institutions abroad, because the salary, because the facilities, and because the support of the government. And the second answer, he want to come back to Indonesia if the condition of Indonesia can support to the his works. But I have family in Indonesia, so maybe after I'm not productive, maybe more than 45 or 50 years old, I want to go back to Indonesia to meet our family. It is my question, Pak Angga.
Okay, thanks, Opa Yuka. Okay, is there any questions? Please raise your hand.
There is good question from the chatting window.
Yes, from Deden. Yes.
Yeah. Deden ask while giving more role to private entity, did South Korean government still drive the research agenda program, or did they leave it to private entity to decide what to research on? Yes, nowadays, Samsung and LG, they are better than the governmental research institute when they make money, the cutting edge area. So even though, for example, big data and AI, the private company is far more better than the governmental research institute. So there should be some division of labor between the governmental research institute and private companies. So the governmental research institute is more focused on the generic technology, some fundamental standard technology, uh, which is in the area of high risk, high return, because the technology, when the technology is too risky, the private company cannot invest their money. So there is that kind of division of labor. But also there is a problem. Sometimes the Samsung and LG, they just how can I say, discard, they look down the research capability of government research institute. So we want to make more, as I mentioned in my slide, the quality issue is really important. So we really want to push our government research institute to do more highly qualified research. So that's the one other aspect of the question you raised. Is it enough, Diden?
Thank you. One.
And also other question I can find in the chatting window. Good question.
From Budiswondo.
It's been.
Yes, I will read it. I will read it for you. What is the urgency of research coordination between industry and government research institutes in an already developed Korea nowadays?
The research coordination.
Yes, between industry and government.
Yeah, there is headquarter of a kind of a umbrella organization under the ministry presidents, the Council of Science and Technology. But the coordination is really difficult because the Samsung and LG, the big company, has far more bigger R&D funding. So sometimes they don't follow the government direction. They follow their own direction. So in a limited area, there is some collaboration between private company and the government research institute. So it's the future is plan is we need to more market-oriented public research has to be strengthened. So we have an organization, is highest organization, Council of Science and Technology. They decide which kind of R&D has been conducted by the government research institute and the private company for the collaboration. Yeah, that's the process that's the institution we have.
All right.
So other question I cannot find, is it deleted?
New questions.
Political factors. What political factors support
Yeah.
the development of development policy in Korea? Sofian.
Yeah, Sofyan.
Actually, we have both a party, it's a dual party system as a political system, the Conservative Party and also Progressive Party. But there is not much difference between the two parties. Where regarding they focused on the economic success by mobilizing the R&D effort. So usually the Korean R&D policy is really focused on the commercialization of R&D. So the policy is not so different between two parties. So political parties is not hinder the policy in Korea, but sometimes some big science project has been done one party, and then next election the president from the different party, they investigate the efficiency of the big science project. So by that way, they want to get some political legitimacy of the current government, but overall, that aspect is not so strong. But current government is a little bit more strong in that aspect. They decreased the R&D budget more than 13%. So that is the big issue in the current R&D society in South Korea. So yeah, but overall, the political party is not, their direction is not different and R&D system, but recently R&D is some event, politicization of R&D is now started to be observed. So we need more discussion about that. Thank you.
Okay. I think I got the first question in the chat box, so I will read it for you. Yes. What best practice we can get from South Korea? Development of public policy using science technological approach. As we Indonesia are very multicultural people, and some public policy from gov may sometimes clash with local gov or traditional beliefs. Please.
Yeah, that's really a good point. When we mobilized the people's effort, the how can I say, the homogeneity of the people is a really positive factor. When the dictator Park Chung-hee mobilized university, elementary school, bank, and other institution, other actors in South Korea in 1970s, the homogeneity of people is really good. It's not good. It's a positive factor for the leadership of the government. Yes, if there is some diversity of the people in the one system, that could be a bad or they could hinder the integration of the focusing of the people's effort. So as you mentioned, the AI or other technology could help the get some needs of the people or some identify the market needs in the in your economy. So that technology can also help the integration of the people's effort, and also maybe some more diverse or the R&D policy like affirmative action in United States. Maybe you have to develop some various policies to integrate different people in your country, and also encourage them to interact with each other in order to do a more efficient R&D, I guess. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, maybe I will invite a new question from audience directly. Please raise your hand. Okay, I will continue to read from the chat box. There is question from Ms. Gina Sofa. The government researchers in Korea, could they work in private sector as well or no? How do you measure their input or contribution in the research development?
Yeah, that's the really important issue. We call it circulation, mobility of researchers. So in the innovation system, the interaction between different actors like university, government research, and other private company is really important. But the R&D researchers really want to get into the fresh PhD, want to get a job in government research institute. So there is a unidirectional movement from the private company and then a public research institute and a university. So government implement many other policy measure to interact the different actors. So, for example, we have some kind of a leave or holiday. It's not holiday, it's a leave for university researchers to company and give a research project to researcher in from the public research institute and also university to work in the private company. So by helping the interaction or collaborative R&D project between the private sector and public sector, so that's the one policy measure we implement in our system. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. The next question is from Hanan Yusuf. Interesting question. What has been the biggest problem with research in Korea, and how did the government deal with it?
The most important problem. Okay, I'm doing some research project about increase the efficiency of the R&D system. The ministry has their own R&D agency. Agency is doing planning R&D project, and they get application from the researchers, and then they evaluate the result of the R&D program. But this agency is ministry have their own agency. So even though there is some overlapping or same project, we cannot coordinate because the project has been done by the ministries. So coordination or the increasing the efficiency of the R&D system is really difficult. So we are going to put our recommendation to integrate all the agencies, R&D agencies, into one under the one umbrella, like BRIN, and also the R&D strategy is not the national level. The national level R&D plan is really difficult to implement. No ministry care about that. Ministry has their own interest in their own R&D programs. So as I mentioned, the Council of Science and Technology, they are really weak in terms of number of researchers, number of political power. So and at the high level, as a high level, the governance, the Science and Technology Council have to get some needs from the ministries, and then they are managing the national level R&D program, and then they give some how can I say, requirement or needs to the integrated R&D agency, and then R&D agency independently manage the R&D project. So that's my idea, and also many other people support this idea. So that is the current problem. And also the other problem is a new technology, new growth engine. It's really we want to find after the artificial intelligence and big data is really, and also the semiconductor area, the competition, global competition is really high. So we want to find next generation technology. So that's the second issue in South Korean innovation system. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prof. Won. Is there any questions from the audience? Please raise your hand.
Yeah, Indra
Cahyono.
Kayano, yes. The program collaboration between university, industry, and government. Active until now. I don't know the program business atas. I don't know the program, but yeah, we really from the initial stage, the university, industry, and government research institute and industry collaboration program is really important. And if there is some consensus between the public researcher and company who are doing R&D, so we developed a special program like in Daejeon, there is Innopolis Foundation. They have many programs supporting collaborative R&D program between GRIs and private company, and university and private company. So based on this help, the private company can get help from the researchers in the public R&D area. So even though some years ago, maybe 10 years ago, just they transfer their R&D, public R&D technology to private firm and then finish. But nowadays, some programs encourage the private company can make a prototype and also marketing. So whole business cycle, in terms of regarding the whole business cycle, they want to help, and they want to encourage the collaboration between the public research institute and private companies. So if you want, I can send some specific program of the Innopolis Foundation in Daejeon City. Thank you.
Thank you. And there are still 2 questions.
Yeah.
From Justina Anita.
Justina.
Yes, related to technology downstream policies in Korea, how the Korean government is trying to attract investors and industrial partners in the technological innovation research process and the commercialization of its research results. How long will it take for Korea to implement this scheme effectively?
Yeah, we have some organization angel investment company, or in the I cannot remember the exact word. There is some company, holding company. They have money, and the public research institute and also some universities invested their money in the holding company, and then holding company find some good R&D project or venture company, and then they put money in the company. So 3 years ago, from the Atomic Research Institute, there was a spin-off company. It's a really big, became a big company in terms of stock, amount of stock in the stock market. So there is some movement by creating the holding company and angel investment company from the public area. They want to support the spin-off from the public research institute and universities, as well as the private company. But it's really many problems we have, because the amount of money of the angel or holding company is limited. So when the company grows, they want to find a bigger investor, not in Daejeon, the science park area, but in Seoul. So many middle-sized venture company are leaving the science park in Daejeon. So that's the one problem. But the most important thing is the market success. So public holding company has some limitation in terms of the animal spirit supporting the market success. So that is still problem for us, but we try to do that kind of activity in South Korea. Yeah, Justina, if you need more information, I can email you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Prof. Kwon. And I invite once again to audience to ask question directly. Please raise your hand if you have any questions that you want to ask directly. Okay, Mr. Hanan Yusuf, please.
Okay, good afternoon, sir.
No.
Can you hear my voice?
Yes,
Yes.
clear.
Okay. From the explanation, it means that Korea, each ministry conduct its own research. It's a little different in Indonesia, where all research from the ministry is conducted by BRIN. But I want to know is whether funding human research and bureaucracy have ever been a problem in Korea, and how the government deal with it. Funding human research and bureaucracy have ever been a problem in Korea.
Yes, at the initial stage, the bureaucracy, the political leadership, or the leadership of public servant is really important. They are really smart people, and they can understand the technology, and also they gave some autonomy to public research institutes, researchers. So this mechanism is really good at the initial stage, but as time goes, the public servant, their performance indicator is based on the amount of money, the size of the R&D program. So some public servants just want to get a big R&D program. So that is his performance. So, and also the circulation system we have. So only 3 years, the they can stay in a specific position. So they cannot be a really specialist in the AI, for example. So their specialty has been limited. The R&D has been progressed. So they are not specialists compared to researchers in public research institute, but they mobilize the public servant, mobilize the researchers in public research institute, and then they want to get their success, their performance by mobilizing the research institutes people. So that's the problem. So nowadays, we'd like to give more autonomy to public research institute people. They are not public servant. The people in the research institute is a little bit special way of creating a government research institute. So most of 27 GRIs, they are not public servant. They are hired by the independent research institute. Their status is not public officer, but the funding is guaranteed from the government. So each ministry is willing to control the R&D direction, R&D program in R&D research institutes. So the non-specialists control the specialists. That's the problem. So we want to give more autonomy to public research institute, and regarding the national challenge or national innovation system, the specialists in R&D specialists have to should plan the R&D program at the national level and also organizational level. So one thing different from the Indonesian system is the researchers in public research institute are not public servants. They just belong to independent body. So that's the difference, I guess. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your answers. Okay, please, Mr. Deden, if you have questions directly. Oh, please.
Then you have to
unmute.
Yes,
okay.
thank you. Yeah, it was still unmuted. Thank you very much, Professor Pon, for everything you mentioned and explained to us. There are a lot of questions, and you got all the answers, and we're satisfied with it, actually. But I really want to know exactly, because it's clearly from Yuka's presentation that Indonesia is really looking up to the South Korean government to put South Korea as our role model, our role country. But as you also answered all our questions, that even the South Korea government still has some problems with it, and
Yes.
And it's clearly that South Korea is among the tops, but
Yeah.
not at the top level. I mean, of all countries in your club of top class research country, do you have any country that South Korean government is looking up to, like the best country ever that even South Korean government tries to learn from it? Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question. Yeah, I'm not the genius to answer all your question correctly, but yeah, it's a really personal perspective I would like to mention. Yeah, at the initial stage, Japan is a really role model. Sometimes we don't think we can follow the Japan because they are way beyond our development. So, but yes, colonization, yeah, is a really sensitive political issue. Colonization has some bad influence and also positive influence. My personal opinion is that, yeah, during the colonization period, the Korean people really suffered from the Japanese government, Japanese rulers. But in other aspect, we really learn from the Japanese government, Japanese people, because they started to learn outside of their country from the 16th century, from the Netherlands and other country. So they develop many kind of a manual, many guideline. So some people who can write and read Japanese, they learn from the Japanese guideline, Japanese book. For example, the Korean legal system is really similar to Japanese system. Some character is we cannot understand, but it's from Japanese legal book. So, and also on the case of the steel company, the Pohang Steel Company, they don't have any equipment to make ore into steel, but they went to Nippon, Japan Steel Company, and then they treat them in dinner, and then they really want to know the secret of making a steel. So there is some lesson from Japan in terms of making a new product or make innovation. So there's the one benchmarking country, the Japan, and also the United States also has a very strong influence to us. The education system, political system, many aspects we import from the United States. So I think the Korean system is a kind of a mixture of Japanese system and US system. So we can find many similar elements in Korean system, the Japanese one and United States one. Yeah. Is it okay for you? Is it enough for you?
Okay.
Thank you. Yes, that's very great. I mean, confessing that you have in other countries to really go. That's a great. But yeah, for my response, do you think that Indonesia could try to find Japan and United States as the role model, like South Korean just now?
Yeah, the Japan and Korea has a bit similar system. So it was really easy to import some knowledge from Japan. But Korea and Indonesia is really different. The language or historically, we are not so strong interaction between two countries. But the most important thing is creating a system to make a new knowledge, like mid 80s Korean industry get into the shorter cycle industry. So there was no competitor in the area, but the new product they can make in the field of ICT area. So Indonesia maybe define some strategic area, and then you can establish some R&D infrastructure, and also finding some market inside and outside. And by that way, you can create some competitive advantage in certain areas. So by that, you can simulate, you can start to create innovation in your country. So, and then you can expand the area from strategic area to other areas. So that strategy is I think that can be applicable to other developing countries, I guess. And also you have a very young population portfolio, so they can be a really strong power when you develop your innovation system. The Korean system is going down because of the aging problems. So that's the issue of our country.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Kwan.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Deden, for participate. And I also invite Mr. Yuka to give opinion about aging population in South Korea and Indonesia. In Indonesia have a young population. We have a demographic bonus actually, and what is the relation to what is the correlation to STI policy or innovation sector in Indonesia? Please.
Is it a question for Yuka?
Thank you, Mas Aswar. Yes, Indonesia maybe in the 5 years again, we will have approaching 3 millions of population. 300 million, sorry, 300 millions. It's very huge population. And you asked me, Ms. Aswar, how is the contribution of the young or youth generation to the STI policy? It is not too late to learn to adopt the practice of STI from the advanced countries. For the young generation, for the teenagers from the maybe the age about 15 up to 30 years old, they are very rapid response to adopt the new things, innovation, especially K-pop culture. K-pop culture is from the Korea. It is the virus not only from Korea, but from Indonesia and around the world. The receipt of the virus of the K-pop is dominant of the young or youth generation. The age is about 16 up to the 30 years old. This is one of the examples. How the young generation can accept quickly the Korean culture. Why not with the technology culture, innovation culture? Maybe we can learn to the Korean practices, not only in the book or academics, maybe from the television. I also propose to Prof. Kon, if you have the program about the STI program, can influence the young generation through television program from Korea, it will be better to make a quick response and quick transfer from the advanced country and to the developing countries like Indonesia. Maybe it's my answer, Mas Aswar. The point is we can learn anything from the advanced countries, both positive and negative impacts, but we must try the current popular culture in the Korea, not only K-pop, but hard work. And then I even heard about the small udang motivation from the local community. Again, itu Mas Aswar. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yuka. So we have to learn not only from popular culture, but also from many things from South Korea. Okay, I think we have 2 last questions for we end. The first is from Pak Zainal Abidin, Mr. Zainal Abidin. I will translate it to English. What is the economic contribution of the informal sector in the South Korea? Small micro enterprises, farmers, fishermen, and whether they get support from R&D by the government and universities. Please, Prof. Kwon.
Farmer sector, what do you mean farmer sector?
Informal sectors. Informal, like small micro enterprises, fishermen, farmers. Do they get support from R&D by the government?
The agricultural sector, you mean? Agriculture?
Yes, agriculture sector. fishery sectors?
Yeah, okay. Um, the food problem is really important for the Korean people. So from the I'm not a specialist in this area, but 1960, 1950, the making good rice plant is really important. So yeah, we learn from Japanese laboratory. We import some species from the species the the um, the rice plants. So many that area is really there is some laboratories, some institute. Their position is a public officer. So the agricultural promotion offices are scattered all over the country. So if there is a good seed or good plants, and then they give to farmers to raise as a good, they can make a good market success. So even in the winter season, they grow some ginseng or other special plants in the greenhouse. So by that way, the Korean government, the Department of Agriculture, they support the farmers and fishery area. And also there is a specialized R&D public institute in the area of fishery or agriculture and biotechnology. So they support when they develop the new plants or new species for the farmers or fishermen and the ocean area. So we have that kind of support from the early stage, so because the food independence is a really important issue in South Korea. So most of rice is imported from the outside, but still we think the food security is important.
Right. Thank you, Prof. Kwon. And this is the last question in chat box. In relation to innovation, or what is the most fundamental aspect of human resources management, especially civil servants or public servants that support science, technology, and innovation policy in South Korea?
Yes, the government officers and also the people in public research institute, the most important thing is the collaboration and information exchange, I guess. So sometimes the governmental institute or public officer, they do just their own work for their performance indicator, quantitative indicator. So nowadays we really stress on the communication and collaboration network of the public servant. That network could be infrastructure for innovation activities. So I think the enthusiasm to collaborate other people is a really fundamental aspect of human resource management in Korean innovation system. And also one other question, you mentioned the K-pop or some K-movie. That's the area. The government don't care, really don't care about it. That area is developed not because of the government support, but because of the independent development. So they do their own job based on their own capability. Because we have a really tragic history, like a Korean War and many political events. So that could be a really rich for element for the Korean entertainment industry. So that's the strength of our K culture or K-pop or K movie, I guess. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Professor Kwon. And before we end today's sessions to Mr. Yuka and Professor Kwon, there are any final thoughts or closing statements before we end today's session? Maybe Professor Kwon first.
This is a really good opportunity to give a lecture, and also I'd like to continue our collaboration between Korea and Indonesia, and also whenever you want to, you can invite me as a lecturer, and also really happy to communicate with specialists in the R&D area in Indonesia. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Wah, thank you. Terima kasih, Prof. And then Mr. Yuka, please.
No comment. I think. Thank you, Prof. Kwon. Thank you for your knowledge, sharing knowledge to Indonesian countries, and thank you for all the participants. We wish can collaborate to make the innovation ecosystem in Indonesia to improve economy in the future. It's enough. Thank you again, Prof. Kwon and Mas Aswad.
Thank you, Mr. Yuka. Okay, before I close this session, I would like to invite Head of Research Center for Public Policy to give us some short closing remarks. Dr. Yanwar Farida Wismayanti, the stage is now all yours. Please.
Okay, thank you, Mas Aswar. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you especially for the speaker, Prof. Kisor Kun from Hanbat National University Korea, and also Mas Yuka, and all of the participants that's already still in our webinar until now. And today we are talking about the important issue about the so we can learn from Korea about how they using how the STI policies is the important thing that to improve the country, and also this is very interesting information, and we also now that Prof. Kisok also informed that it's not like this is the need a long history also in Korea on how the develop the science, technology, and innovation policy to develop the innovation system in Korea. As mentioned, evolution of Korean innovation policy is start from around 1960, and I hear that this divide into three periods, yeah, in like imitation, also creative imitation and innovation. And the important thing is there is a need support and also commitment from government. This is a very important point on how to develop and to achieve their goals, including support from the private sector. This is the important how to private sector is also support how the STI policies will be improved for the next. And also, Mas Yuka has already mentioned about Indonesia is also still struggling on STI policy development. However, it should be focused on some area such as investing and improving qualified human resources is also the focus, and also support of research and development budget in both in private and also government, and also reinforcing and reforming public government system, also connecting industry, university, and also research and development agencies is also, and also support from the government is also important to support how the STI policy in Indonesia. And it's also how the national policies support to lead the STI policy is like a reform in Indonesia. And also the last point is also about the collaboration with all of the stakeholders. So finally, most importantly, it is important on a shared vision among all stakeholders of the power of STI to drive a global development that leaves no one behind. So once again, thank you for Prof. Kisokwan and also Mas Yuka and all of the participation. And we still waiting for the next collaboration, especially from Prof. Kisokwan and also all of the participants for the next activities. Thank you. And next for Mas Aswar Aswan. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the concise closing remarks from Dr. Ismayanti. And we have heard from two amazing speakers today who have given us different perspectives and insights on STI policy. Both speakers have shown us how STI policy is a dynamic and evolving field that offers many opportunities and challenges for individuals and organizations and countries. They have also shared with us some of the best practices and resources to learn more about STI policy or get involved in this field. I hope you have enjoyed this session and gained some valuable insights and knowledge from our speakers. We also had some lively and interesting discussions. Thank you from the audience. Thank you for your active involvement and contribution. Finally, I would like to thank you all for joining us today. I hope you have learned something new and useful from this discussion. Please fill out the feedback form that will be distributed shortly. Your feedback is important for us to improve our future events. Thank you very much and have a great day. See you in next elaborasi.